Imagine that you drive an insanely fast McLaren Formula One race car for a living, on the cusp of winning your third World Drivers' Championship. But there's trouble. Your arch rival, who's one of the most aggressive racers of all time, is on your tail, and you just know that he's about to make a move. With a mere 5 laps left in the race, you approach a tight corner, and sure enough, your fearless competitor puts the hammer down. He cuts to the inside until he's nearly parallel with your roaring McLaren. You have a choice. Do you allow him to pass, aggressively cut him off, or crash into him and win the championship? If you're Alain Prost battling Ayrton Senna, the answer to this question is a little complicated. Prost was a fiery Frenchman and an elite driver known for dominating the track like no driver before him. But along with his unrivaled success, the professor had an extremely combustible personality and made more than one enemy on his path to glory. But how did this son of a small-town handyman become an F1 driver in the first place? What led to Prost's legendary personal feud with Ayrton Senna? And how does Alain's legacy stand up against recent greats like Schumacher and Hamilton? Break out the champagne glasses and the steak tartare, because today on Past Gas, we're learning about the fastest Frenchman in F1 history, Alain Prost.
Past Gas Podcast. It's about cars, it's not about forts.
Big thank you to our sponsor this week, Valvoline. Valvoline provides 24 times stronger protection against engine-killing water contamination than the industry-leading synthetic brand. Get Valvoline for your car today and protect against water contamination. All right, thank you very much, Valvoline.
Alain Prost.
Whoa,
Alain Prost. What?
James,
Whoa.
your hair is different.
James just
What?
did a hair reveal,
I didn't mean to.
Sorry, this is a audio format, but James's hair is blonde now.
and he didn't tell us. He didn't warn us.
Oh, I thought you could see it peeking out.
No.
I didn't mean to do a reveal. My head got hot, so I took my beanie off.
Sorry to interrupt the Alain Prost.
Yeah,
We're
I got
just gonna say
blonde hair
Alain
again,
Prost.
guys. If you don't know, we have a YouTube channel, Donut Media, and I just felt like being a YouTuber again.
Yeah, that's
Went full
good.
YouTube. I was feeling a little mousy, feeling like I was disappearing into the background a little bit. Just wanted to be bright.
Pop.
I wanted to pop a little bit.
Yeah.
Pop. Yes.
Good on you.
Thanks, boys.
Welcome to Past Gas, everybody. My name is Nolan Sykes, joined as always by my co-hosts. We got James Pumphrey with the blonde hair
Get a load of this pod, baby.
and Joe Weber.
What's up, Wing Wing Nation? It's slippery out there. Watch your back.
Yeah, a lot of rain here in Los Angeles for the past 2 weeks now. It's been a steady kind of rainy deal.
I love it. We needed this.
Yeah. Oh, we needed this.
We needed this.
We needed this.
We needed
You
this.
know what? We needed this.
We needed
We
this.
really needed this.
It's so
needed
green
this.
out there.
Driving, that's my therapy. And this week we're talking about.
You should go to regular therapy.
Yeah, I probably should.
You cry randomly.
You can do therapy in
Not
your car.
at work.
You can call your therapist from your car.
I could do a lot of things, I think, to help myself out. Just as Alain Prost could have done a lot of things to maybe cement his legacy a little better. He's a guy best known as Ayrton Senna's rival, which is kind of a tough position to be in.
Yeah.
Your legacy is just being someone else's.
I wanted to be unbiased going into this because I've always taken Ayrton's side, but I realized that I've only heard Ayrton's side. I've never.
I would say most media and everything kind of focuses on
Well,
Ayrton's
Ayrton
side.
Senna is a romantic Brazilian man.
Yeah.
Super handsome. Drove that NSX in loafers.
Yeah.
Really, really cool guy. And Alain Prost's legacy is kind of just being a wiener and a
Yeah, a
little
tattletale.
bit. Yeah.
He's a tattletale, and so I ended up watching a short documentary yesterday on him. He's like, I feel like Ayrton Senna was cool because he had other things going on,
Right.
he was like in the zeitgeist.
He's a pop icon.
Yeah. All Alain could talk about was just the race. Like he has encyclopedic knowledge of his races that he's been in, but that's all he talks about. Like there's no personality.
Yeah, he's the exact opposite of Senna. It's like Mickey Lauda and James Hunt. If James Hunt were Ayrton Senna, i.e. really good at race car driving.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton famously photographed, dates models, blah, blah, blah.
Does a lot of philanthropic work. Cool guy.
Goes on trips.
Wears
Wears
big
cool
shirts.
clothes. Gets
Yeah.
photographed at in beautiful areas.
Yeah.
Max,
Verstappen,
also
Streams.
very good.
Streams
He
racing.
streams. He has a sim set up in the corner of a big room with nothing else in it.
Yep.
So my advice to Max, let's
do ecstasy together.
And go on jet skis.
Yeah, I'd say like if Max Verstappen wants to avoid the Prost legacy reputation of being kind of a wiener, hit me up. Let's do ecstasy together. Let's take lots of pics.
Mm-hmm.
Bing, bang, boom. That's called PR, baby.
That's cool. Yeah.
I
Don't
think
do ecstasy.
I feel bad for anyone who is sponsored by Red Bull, whether it's skateboarding or racing, because they make you wear the dumb hats all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You got to wear a dumb flat brim hat with the Red Bull logo. And it's like you can't be a fashion icon and wear a trucker hat with Red Bull on it, you know?
Interesting.
Bet.
Anyway, proud sponsor of a new sponsor this year of Past Gas, Red Bull Energy Drink.
It gives you wings.
Gives you wings. You guys know the drill. All right, so let's get into our story this week. Let's talk a little Alain Prost and maybe a little bit of Ayrton Senna, too.
I'm hoping to have my opinion of Prost challenged.
Yes.
I think, like I said, he does have a reputation for being kind of a tattletale and a wiener.
Yeah.
But I bet that that's not the whole Prost.
Let's look at the whole. Yes. All right. Before we get into this episode, we covered Ayrton Senna in a 4-part series in the early days of Past Gas. Go check it out. We've also briefly talked about Senna versus Prost in the 3rd part of our Bruce McLaren episode. But we realized we never really did a deep dive into the life and career of Alain Prost himself. So while we'll get into the feud, let's find out more about who Alain Prost is.
Yeah, let's get the full Prost.
On February 24th, 1955, near the small town of Saint-Chamond.
Hey, he's 10 days younger than my dad.
Holy crap.
Dang.
Man, the peeling back the onion already.
Saint-Chamond in central France, Alain Prost was born to his parents André and Marie Rose. Alain was...
My mom's name is Rose.
Holy
Oh my
crap.
God, dude.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Synchronicity.
Is my dad the
here.
prof?
This is getting weird.
Alain was athletically gifted and ferociously competitive from an early age and showed significant promise in multiple sports. He even considered pursuing a career playing professional football, but a trip to the south of France when he was 14 years old changed his life forever.
Speaking of significant promises, I significantly promise to have y'all's back for the rest of my life.
Thanks, dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Likewise.
Tight.
I got your 6.
Stay frosty, dude. All right. While on vacation with his parents and younger brother Daniel, you don't have like an Uncle Daniel? Good. Okay.
I hate Daniels.
Alain got the opportunity to drive a go-kart for the first time. And you know what? He was immediately addicted. And upon returning home, worked overtime at his father's kitchen repair company to save enough money for his own kart. Alain first competed in regional kart circuit in Lorette at the age of 15 and raced throughout his high school years. Despite his obsession, Alain enrolled in university in 1973, but dropped out within a year to pursue his racing dream.
Dude, I dropped out of college within a year to pursue my comedy dream.
Wow.
I wasn't going to say it, but my mom worked for a kitchen repair company
Dude.
where she repaired Oster blenders.
Are you serious?
Osterizers, yeah.
Supporting himself as a kart mechanic and distributor, Alain was able to make a living while also learning about the intricacies of racing engines. This added knowledge only made him a better driver. And in the 1975 season, he won the French Senior Karting Championship and earned a seat in the national circuit, Formula Renault.
That's cool.
Dude, kind of self-made a
Yeah.
little bit. That's
Yeah.
cool. I like that.
Me too.
Dig that.
Dig that. Yeah. His son of a kitchen repairman.
That's cool.
There's no one was ever doubting his drive. Like, he's a very driven guy.
Would you say that he was driving to survive?
Yes, I'd probably say that.
Yeah.
From 1977 to 1979, Prost put the entire racing world on notice. During these formative years, Alain captured the attention of multiple Formula One teams who were chomping at the bit to sign the Frenchman after he won the 1979 European F3 Championship behind the wheel of a Martini Renault Mark 27. And that's when McLaren came calling.
Hello? Is Alan there?
Oui?
Hi, my name is Bob McLaren.
Bruce McLaren.
I thought
Yeah,
you were
I'm-
British.
I'm Bruce's cousin.
Oh, okay.
He has me call people on his behalf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hold on. Let me put him through. Hello.
Hello, is this Bruce?
Yeah. Would you like to drive my car for me?
You are Australian. Okay.
After just 3 test laps, McLaren boss Teddy Mayer signed 24-year-old Alain Prost to an F1 racing contract. Mayer even offered him a chance to drive in the final Grand Prix of 1979, but Alain turned him down. He felt that he needed more time to prepare for his debut. This calculated approach to racing was such a staple of Prost's persona that he quickly became known as the Professor.
Nice.
The documentary that his engineers loved him because they never had to rebuild his car. He never spun out, never hit the wall.
Wow, that's cool. Got to get your mechanics on your side for sure. Alain's Formula One debut came at the 1980 Argentine Grand Prix, the first race of the season. Alongside British teammate John Watson, Alain finished in 6th place and 2 weeks later claimed 5th at the season's second race in Brazil. But during practice at the next Grand Prix in South Africa, he crashed when his suspension snapped. A broken wrist kept him out of the next 2 races.
Oh,
How's he
weird.
gonna hold
Sounds
his
like they
jaw?
had to repair that, Joe.
Oh, because his suspension snapped. That's the engineer's fault.
I thought this show is called Pass Gas, not Pass Pull It Out of Your Ass.
Another crash at practice before the final round at Watkins Glen pushed the
Another crash,
emotional
Joe.
Prost
But they had to fix that.
over the
We're
edge.
talking about years here. Multiple years.
Forced to skip race day due to yet another suspension failure.
Oh, wow. Sounds like another repair, Joe. You know,
And
I heard that his
concussion.
toilet loved him because he never pooped.
Yeah. Alain was vocal about his lack of confidence in McLaren management and criticized the team's engineers.
There's no way he's eating sausage and cheese all day, every day. He's French.
Though it may be surprising that a rookie driver would have that much confidence, it makes sense that he wouldn't trust his team. Alain's first season was plagued by component failures of his car, which led to accidents, including the weekend before in Montreal. At a time when Formula One drivers truly risked everything to race, Alain had a sense to notice when things weren't working for him. It turns out this breakup was mutual, as McLaren wasn't fond of keeping a driver around who would badmouth the team. Yeah, don't
talk
Don't
trash
do that.
about your team.
Yeah. With both parties disgusted with one another, Alain broke his 2-year contract with McLaren and immediately took a call from Renault.
Okay, like I said at the top of this episode, I hope that my opinion of him turns around, but sounds like he's a baby so far.
That's the journey I went through last night.
Yeah, you don't talk trash about your team.
Yeah.
Don't talk trash about the team, but also if your car keeps breaking,
Talk to your team about it.
Talk to the team about
Talk
it.
to your team about it. You can have problems with the guys.
Don't talk
you
to
work with.
reporters about
Yeah,
it.
Don't
Talk to your
talk
team.
to
about
reporters about your team.
Yeah.
that. Unless he was already like, I got to get out of here. This is my way to get out of the team is to talk trash.
No, that's not. Take the high road.
I know, but look, Alain, like you said, Alain has a reputation of being a bit of a baby and a bit of a tattletale. I'm going to tell you right now, that's like every driver is
I know.
like that. They're
I know,
all
but
like that.
some are just better at like keeping their composition
That's true.
and
Keeping the face
yeah,
alive.
Yeah,
Gotta keep
But
that
they're
face
all,
alive.
They're all
boy.
like this.
like
you
even
know?
even Hamilton has
Oh, for
some
sure.
moments in his early career
His early
where he
career,
was
yeah.
like
He-
slipped
he's
and-
figured it
and
out.
came off as a little
Yeah. Lewis has
babyish.
figured it out.
Lewis has figured out he had a bad season this year. He didn't talk crap.
No, he didn't say anything.
He said a little thing,
Little bit. He said a little bit.
but it was always optimistic. Anyway,
It wouldn't make it into the podcast script.
right,
He didn't talk enough trash to make it into the first
right.
chapter of the podcast script. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Lewis, if you're listening, I'd
Let's do
love
it.
to hang out. Alain Prost's relationship with Renault began as a storybook romance. He earned his first career Formula One victory in his home country at the 1981 French Grand Prix at Dijon.
Dijon. Wow.
Best known for mustard. For Alain, the win was a turning point not only for his reputation as a driver, but more importantly, his personal mindset. Before you thought you could do it, now you know you can. Alain's eventual fifth-place finish in the World Championship showed the racing world that this second-year driver was a force to be reckoned with.
I've been putting Dijon in all my emulsions. It just really ties everything together. It gives you a little pop of white wine.
Alain began the 1982 season by winning the South African Grand Prix. He then won the second Grand Prix in Brazil. After Brabham's Nelson Piquet and Williams' Keke Rosberg were disqualified for sketchy ballast water tanks. Tale as old as time. Despite not winning the next several races, Alain still had the overall points lead going into the 11th race of the season in France, where he was from. And just like home for all three of us, drama was awaiting. At Dijon, Alain was in second behind Renault teammate René Arnoux. As the race entered the final laps, typically when a teammate in second place has the points advantage, the leader will allow them to pass. However, Arnoux held Prost back, which led Alain finishing third at the season's end. Alain was understandably irritated. That's a D-hole move.
Yeah.
You know? I would have smacked him in the face. I would have got to the pit, got out of my car, taken my helmet off, waited for him to take his helmet off, and open hand smacked him in the face.
With the glove or no glove?
Glove off. But I'd take it off in front of him.
We slap him with a glove?
No, I'd go like this.
Oh, one finger at a time.
No, I'd take him off like this, really staring at him, pull off my glove, give it a second. So he's like, what? I'd wait for him to say, what?
Yeah.
I'd smack him in the face.
Oh, dude.
That's what. You should have let me buy.
I just got chills.
Yeah, could have been a 4-time champion. So Alain was understandably irritated, and he directed his rage at both Arnoux and the Renault bosses. But ironically, Alain was villainized in the press and labeled as selfish, while the upstart Arnoux was praised by both French fans and journalists alike.
That's interesting because, like, earlier this season, Max had already won the championship and didn't let Sergio Perez by because Perez needed the points. And guess what? That came back and bit them in the butt, didn't it?
Yeah, it really hurt Max's rep.
Yeah.
It did.
Everyone was like, hey, Max, you're a jerk.
Yeah, remember all the times Checo saved your butt, Max?
Yeah, Max.
Does that count for nothing?
For nothing!
Yeah. This is something we talk about all the time on my other podcast, the Donut Racing Show. Had he let Perez by, he would have been second place in the championship, would have been a 1-2, but instead, good old Chuck Leclerc.
Chuck Leclerc.
He got second place because of that whole deal.
Dude,
so
we are such a better team than any of these guys.
we should start an F1 team.
Dude, I freaking throw you guys so many punchlines.
Like when I'm
We
going
oop
to the
each other
bathroom
all the time.
When we're like racing each other to the bathroom, I'm like, I don't need to pee that bad, and I let you pass it. And
Yeah,
you go,
and then I'm like, actually, man, I'm gonna take a pretty rough poop.
It's gonna be rough, dude. Yeah, it's gonna suck. So
I just had a bowl of sag paneer.
I'm on the all paneer diet. All I eat is paneer and halloumi. Just grillable cheeses. With a new chip on his shoulder, Alain returned in 1983 with a vengeance. He finished 9 of the first 11 races in the points, but also became keenly aware that Brabham's improved BMW engine and their driver, Nelson Piquet, were a serious threat to his title. Alain tried to convince Renault engineers to make changes to the car, but they didn't listen. They were like, shut up. We got to go eat snails over here. The last 5 races proved Alain to be a doomsday prophet, as his points lead vanished and Piquet took the crown. Alain was angry, again, and wasn't shy about letting Renault know. You got to let Renault know. The resulting meltdown culminated not only in Renault firing Alain, but the driver also alleged that bitter Renault factory workers set 2 of his personal cars on fire. I've had 2 cars burned in front of me and messages on my answering machine, which said things like, we are going to kill you.
Jesus.
In my opinion, it really went over the top.
This was part of that documentary last night, and like if you get fired from 2 teams,
You're a jerk.
you're the problem.
Yeah. If 9 people say
I don't
you're an
agree with
asshole.
like the death threats or anything, but
yeah, I wouldn't burn the dude's car up.
That's pretty crazy.
But it is sick. I don't agree with it, but it's pretty funny.
It's a good prank. Good prank, yeah.
Disgusted and betrayed, Alain moved from France to Switzerland and began looking for a new seat in Formula One, hopefully surrounded by a car.
This was a weird. Everything sounds like he's like every interview sounds like he's defending himself, which is not a good sign. But he was like protesting too much, like he was like, yeah, the move to Switzerland was not because of taxes. And it's like, no one said that until you brought it up.
Just before Alain Prost left McLaren in 1981, new team director Ron Dennis and lead engineer John Barnard presented him with their vision for McLaren's future, which included a never-before-seen carbon fiber composite chassis on upcoming cars. But Alain, as we've learned, was too jaded to care and skipped town. Fast forward 3 years, and Barnard's chassis was a breakthrough achievement. McLaren needed a teammate for Niki Lauda, so Ron Dennis asked Alain if he'd be interested in giving it another go. Alain's reputation at this point wasn't exactly glimmering after his fallout with Renault, and he didn't have much room to negotiate. So, for the bargain price of $500,000, roughly half of what other elite drivers were making at the time, Alain was back with McLaren for the 1984 season. Along with John Barnard's carbon fiber composite chassis, McLaren also had a new engine, the Porsche-constructed TAG Turbo V6. The 84 season brought with it a new rule banning mid-race refueling, which worked out marvelously for McLaren since the new TAG, of which they had exclusive rights, was one of the most efficient engines on the circuit. Alain and Lauda made the most of their fantastic new car and dominated the season from start to finish. Heading into the final race of the year in Portugal, Lauda had won 5 races and Alain 6. But if Niki finished second place or higher, he'd beat Alain by half a point to win the championship. As fate would have it, that's exactly how it turned out. Lauda finished the race second behind Alain and won the championship by the closest points margin in F1 history. With the constructor's title going to McLaren, the team was the undisputed king of the 1984 season. But as the confetti fell, Alain was emotionally rattled by falling just short of the title. The gracious Lauda, whom Alain idolized as a young driver, comforted his teammate, saying,
"Forget it. Next year, the championship is yours."
Lauda was right. In 1985, Prost embraced a less aggressive approach to his driving, and it paid off tremendously. But even with 5 victories and 6 additional podium finishes, boss man Ron Dennis wasn't a fan.
Ron Dennis, Ronnie D.
D wasn't a fan of Alain's patient style. Dennis criticized Prost multiple times during the year, especially for a third-place finish at the seemingly winnable Belgian Grand Prix. Quote,
I know especially for a third-place finish at the seemingly winnable Belgian Grand Prix, I know I could have won. But I've lost the championship at the last moment so many times. I'm not taking any chances. Are you going to finish that?
Consistency was clearly the name of the game, and Prost wasn't going to budge. He took 4th place at the next round at Brands Hatch, and with 2 full races yet to run, became the only Frenchman to this day to win a Formula One championship.
Really?
That's very surprising.
That is very surprising. There's tons of them.
There's a lot of French guys running around out there.
Just running around.
Just doing the thing. Alain carried his professional brilliance of 1985 into the next season, but found himself in a far more competitive battle for the championship. Heading into the final race of the year in Australia, Alain, Nelson Piquet, and Nigel Mansell were all within striking distance of the crown. Imagine that, 3 drivers going for the championship in the final race. That'd be cool. Amazing.
3 Hall of Famers.
Yeah. In arguably the most exciting Grand Prix of the decade, Alain was able to outlast the superior Williams machines and win the 86 title. This made him the first driver since Jack Brabham, a quarter-century before, to claim back-to-back championships. Wow. In 1987, the Honda engines at Williams and Lotus completely overtook McLaren's TAG engine, but not before Alain won 2 of the first 3 Grand Prix of the season. He made more history when he won the 12th round at Portugal. With his 28th first-place finish, Alain eclipsed Jackie Stewart's record of 27 to become the winningest driver in F1 history.
Wow.
Yeah, that is wow. I didn't know that. Dude,
I bet he was so stoked.
Yeah.
I bet that night he was like so happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would be.
Yeah.
Dude.
Or maybe he's one of those guys where it's like, it's this thing you obviously should be proud of, but like,
He's just waiting for the other foot to drop.
Yeah, he's like,
I try not to be like
he's
that.
like too in the zone to like enjoy what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm usually not great at like being proud of myself. I think all of us are kind of like that, and that's why we have success. But when we won a streamy, I was stoked for the night.
That was
Your
fun.
speech was really funny.
Yeah, I wish I would have cussed less. I didn't think we were going to win.
Yeah.
But you beat Kevin Hart.
Yeah, we beat Kevin Hart, met Logan Paul. It's a great night.
So, yeah, Alain is now the winningest driver in F1 history. Maybe he's happy. Probably not. McLaren.
You know what he would say?
Yeah.
This is one word I remember from French class. He would say, bouf, which is an expression of indifference.
He'd say, merde.
McLaren was obviously thrilled for Alain, but there were two other reasons for the team to be optimistic for the next season. A contract with Honda meant a ferocious new engine, and an emerging young driver from Lotus was available to become Alain's new teammate. The driver's name was Ayrton Senna, and unbeknownst to all involved, the stage was set for one of the most dramatic rivalries in sports history.
Bum, bum, bum. Enter Senna.
Big thanks to ShipStation for sponsoring this episode of Past Gas. If you own a small business and you ship stuff, you know how important it is to ship on time. That's why you need ShipStation. ShipStation helps you get there faster whether you run a side hustle or a giant warehouse. Keep customers happy and fulfill more orders than ever, all while cutting shipping costs and managing it all from a single dashboard. And their best rates in the industry just got even better with up to 86% off USPS and UPS rates. It's not a question of if you should switch to ShipStation, but why you haven't already. As someone who's been involved in a small business that ships stuff, I know how difficult and complex it can get once you start getting more customers. That's why I like ShipStation, because it makes it so easy. You have your little dashboard. Make the new year your best year and grow your business with ShipStation. Use promo code PASSGAS today at ShipStation.com to sign up for your free 60-day trial. That's ShipStation.com, promo code PASSGAS.
Big thanks to our sponsor this week, Cozy Earth. It's loungewear for men made from naturally breathable and temperature-regulating premium viscose from bamboo. That's right. Cozy Earth's menwear offers all-season versatility and is perfect for layering in the colder months and worn on its own during the warmer months. Cozy Earth's unique fabrication provides next-level comfort and four-way stretch technology in all menswear. Cozy Earth's menswear lounge collection features various styles and colors for everyday wear. I've got some jammy pants, a jammy shirt, and they're great for sleeping because like I get really hot when I am sleeping, and this stuff, like, it's very breathable, so the blankets do the warming, not the pants, if that makes sense. And if you're looking for something for Valentine's Day, look no further, because Cozy Earth's luxurious loungewear and pajamas are the perfect gifts for her this Valentine's Day. Fellas, get your girl some Cozy Earth. You guys will both love it. Cozy Earth is providing an exclusive offer for our listeners today. You get 35% off site-wide when you use the code DRS. That's 35% off all Cozy Earth products on their website when you use the code DRS. Thank you very much, Cozy Earth.
Alain Prost first met Ayrton Senna in 1984 when they participated in a friendly race for Mercedes at the Nürburgring. According to Alain, the two hit it off, but when it came time to race, the Brazilian was a different man. I took Ayrton from the airport and we got along well. Then, in the race, I took the lead, and after half a lap, he pushed me off.
Wait, they made Alain go pick him up from the airport?
That was a different time.
And he probably wanted to drive.
Well, yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Those guys
heavy.
love driving. But yeah, it's like it's like before Ubers and stuff. It's like a bonding thing. Like, why don't you go pick them up from the airport?
Yeah. And he's like,
You guys get to know each other.
I was going to put Dijon on my snails.
When he came out and he got in the car, I put him in cushion on the passenger seat. He did not think it was funny. The Brazilians do not like flatulence. Needless to say, Alain knew that he would have his hands full with Senna. I'd like to have my hands full with Senna.
Oh, no, right.
But that didn't stop him from advising McLaren to sign the Brazilian 4 years later. I told them it had to be Ayrton. If you want to make a strong team, you take the best.
You take the youngest, the one for the future. Take a Senna.
And so it was. Two maniacally competitive and opinionated drivers, both in their absolute prime, were Formula One teammates. What could possibly go wrong? Well, nothing at first. Alain and Senna dominated the 1988 season, alternating first-place finishes as if they were the only two on the track. However, cracks began to emerge at the 13th GP in Portugal. We didn't have any problems until Estoril, reflects Alain in a poignant 2014 Autoweek editorial. As I passed Ayrton, he swerved at me, putting me maybe a foot from the pit wall. I won the race, but I was shaken by what he had done, and I told him what I thought. Despite the win at Estoril, Alain had to settle for second place to Senna in the World Championship. Senna's flamboyant driving style quickly made him a fan favorite, while Alain was framed as his curmudgeon-y teammate. That impression was reinforced by the 2010 documentary film Senna. The documentary is stunning, but sources outside the production say that Alain was unfairly depicted. Stefan Johansson, Prost's teammate at McLaren before Senna arrived, said, I'd worked with both Senna and Prost. As far as I was concerned, the documentary was not a true reflection of Alain, the guy I knew, for whom I had so much respect.
I think it was produced by like his family, or at least like funded.
His family.
Everything is.
They worked like extensively with Senna's family.
The Senna Foundation, Senna's family is very protective of his image.
Yeah.
Anyone who's ever asked for an Ayrton Senna up to speed, we had a script. I think we may have even recorded it, but we couldn't get any footage of Senna. Yeah, we shot it, but we couldn't get any footage cleared because his family has such a chokehold on it, which is cool.
But that's probably why it was like so biased as far as.
Yeah, I mean, protect the person you love, and at least they're not selling like Senna shirts and Hot Topic.
Yeah.
Whoever's in charge of Keith Haring's estate's really making a ton of money.
Oh, God.
Yeah. McLaren's domination continued in 1989, shouts to Taylor Swift, but Alain accused Senna of reckless driving multiple times.
It was in Imola in 1989 that the relationship between us disintegrated. We qualified 1-2, and Ayrton suggested we shouldn't fight at the first corner. He led away, with me second, but then the race was stopped when Gerard Berger has a bigger crash. On the restart, I got ahead. And Ayrton, he passed me. Sacre bleu, merde.
This is the only part of the Prost documentary where I was like, oh, Ayrton was a too. Like, Ayrton, they made this pact at the beginning of the race, and it was Ayrton who brought it up. Like, don't pass at the first corner. And then as soon as the restart happened, Senna did that.
Never mind.
Yeah. And he's like, no, I didn't say it after the restart. And it's like, shut up.
I meant not.
Yeah.
Dude, it's opposite day, dude. It's opposite day.
Yeah. Dude, you're such an idiot. You didn't know it was opposite day?
Look at the freaking calendar, Prost.
Just so gaslighting.
Senna justified the move by saying the restart wasn't the actual start, making the no-pass agreement null and void. And also, it was obviously opposite day. To Alain, his technicality was a pithy excuse for a selfish move, and it fractured his trust in Ayrton all the more. Senna, who wasn't exactly a quiet guy himself, was very aware of Alain's frustration and told Brazilian F1 commentator Reginaldo Leme, This Frenchman is hard. He wants war. That's sick. Dude, Nolan, you want war?
Not especially right now.
All right. Next season of High-Low, you want war?
Sure, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's go to war.
Let's go to war.
You're hard. This Atascadero man. This Atascadero man is hard. He wants war. Put that on a shirt. Email us at passgas@donutmedia.com if you want us to make a shirt that says, this Atascadero man is hard. He wants war.
Never mess with an Atascadero man born in July.
Who's hard and wants war.
and has a forklift certification.
Loves his daughter. She's an angel, but she's also a.
She makes me cornbread every Sunday.
We should make that shirt.
And you better believe she knows how to use it.
2 Grand Prix remained in the 1989 season, and Senna needed to win in Japan in order to stay in the points with Alain. To raise the stakes, Alain would clinch the championship if Senna didn't finish the race at Suzuka. This cocktail of tension seemed destined to boil over that October day,
baby.
like a hot toddy.
Yeah. There's not a lot of boiling cocktails, but Nolan found one.
Alain told his team before the race,
There's no way I'm going to open the door anymore. This is as far as the door even opens. I put a door stopper right here. You see? This is where the door stops.
Ajar is where I draw the line.
I have done it too often, and I've had enough. The
Alain,
door will not be open anymore. But Alain. Knock, knock, knock. No, thank you. No soliciting. Goodbye. We are not home. Turn out all the lights and lay on the ground.
Alain was in first.
I pretend like it's the end of the world, okay? And everybody outside is a zombie.
He turned a little bit Jamaican for a second there.
Everybody outside is a zombie, right? And if a zombie knocks on your door, what do? Do you open it? Of course not. They will bite you, and you will try to hide it, but then eventually you will start getting gray, and everyone will be, did you get bitten? And you said, no, I'm just walking a little slower than the group. I'm just a little sweatier than before. And they're like, are you sure you did not get bit? And I'm like, no, I did not get bit. But you know what? If I did not open the door in the first place, then I would not get bit by the zombie. So, if Senna wants me to open the door anymore, I will say no.
A little Swedish
no
in there.
more open the door.
So can we work on the car now, or?
Yes,
Okay.
but you understand my analogy?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
You understand it's a metaphor.
Yeah, we get it.
There is no door.
No.
There is no physical door.
There's no doors on these cars.
It's
There's
a
no doors on the
metaphor.
track.
You
Yeah.
climb in the car from the top.
Yeah.
It's not a physical door, it's a metaphorical door.
Right.
I have opened it up for him to win the championship.
Okay, I got that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let him no more.
Okay.
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 I want to win.
Alain was in first place for a majority of the race, but with 5 laps to go,
Do we have any snacks around here?
no. Ayrton made a dramatic move to the inside and looked to be in position to take the lead. But as the 2 McLarens ran nearly parallel into the chicane, they bumped wheels and, somewhat ironically, eased off the track, intertwined with each other.
This is very famous.
Very famous.
Everyone thinks I did it on purpose, but I didn't want to finish the race like that.
Alain later remarked.
I led from the start and I wanted to win. When he tried to pass, I thought, I'm not going to leave him even a 1 meter gap. As I'd said, I did not open the door.
No, okay, we got that. He doesn't have
ding
oh,
dong,
God,
ding
here we
dong,
go.
ding dong.
No, we get it.
Sorry, we are not home.
No,
we
no,
do
I
not
got
want
it.
any of your
With
Bibles.
the zombies
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the soliciting.
Yes. The
Cool.
door is a metaphor,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
pretty apt.
Oh,
what'd
yeah.
you say?
Real on the... Yeah, you nailed
It's a
it.
good
You
metaphor.
know, I am
It's great.
my man of sort of a, practical scientific mind. And
Sure, you're the
it
professor,
took me
right, yeah.
quite a bit of thought to come up with something
quite a bit,
as
huh?
abstract and analogous
That's
as
good,
this
though.
door metaphor.
You should
That's
feel
great.
good about it,
That's great.
Alain.
Originally, I was going to say I will not let him drive past me in the car.
Both cars were
But I
damaged.
thought, Alain, maybe we make it a little more poetic this time. So, me and my wife, we took a
wife?
day trip. Yes.
Oh,
We took a day trip. We got a little room at the chateau. We got a couple bottles of wine. I broke out my notepad.
oh.
I did a writing exercise. 2 columns.
Oh, God.
Okay, 1. What am I trying to say literally? Okay. I do not want to let Ayrton Senna
I've
pass
never
me
heard
in
anyone
the car.
map out a metaphor like
And
this.
then I was like, wife,
My love of my life, my beautiful wife. How can
Alain,
I say
we gotta
this
start
without
reading the story.
saying this?
So we're gonna load the cars up now.
At first, I thought I will not open the sewer
Got a
grate.
lot of work to do.
I said I would not open the stable. I
Gotta pull the
said I
truck
would not open
around.
the window, and I said, "Ooh, windows, that's good." And she says, "Wait,
Gotta load the
Alain,
tires up.
what do you walk through more than a window?"
Gotta load those
But a
toolboxes.
door. And I said, "This is why I married you," and we made love for hours.
Cool. That's good. Let's move on.
But I
Anyway.
did not open the door. I did not do it on purpose.
Both cars
I
were
did not
damaged.
wreck him on purpose. But I didn't open.
This is like a really
The
important
door.
part of the story,
Yeah.
Alain.
Yeah.
And we would love to give
Yes,
it the
I know.
gravity
So I'm
it
trying
deserves.
to give you the proper context.
Both cars were damaged, but Senna clearly wasn't finished. He frantically waved for his crew to roll his car away from Alain, then miraculously re-entered the race. With his front end skidding along the asphalt, Senna somehow made it back to pit row, while Alain got out of his car and was done for the day because of the wreck. But as Senna's crew swapped the car's damaged nose, Alessandro Nannini moved into first place with only 5 laps to go. Senna's McLaren screamed out of the pits, and on the final lap overtook Nannini, winning one of the most controversial races in F1 history. Or so everyone thought. You see, while Senna was making a stunning comeback, Alain Prost was on foot, making a beeline for the race official's office to argue. The problem was that before rejoining the race, Senna zigzagged through a small section of safety barriers near the chicane, then carried on. He had technically gone off course, which meant that he was technically disqualified, and Alain Prost was the new F1 champion.
my God.
What a wiener.
Regardless of the win, Prost was finished with Senna and McLaren. As he packed his bags for Italy to join his new team, Ferrari, Alain told the press, quote,
To be very honest, I'm quite happy to leave McLaren. It has become impossible to work with Ayrton.
And
I will never open a single
no,
door
come on.
ever again.
Please, come on.
Dude, this is so lame. It's like if somebody hit like a buzzer beater to win a game. Like it was like such an amazing performance by Senna.
Yeah.
It was so good for the sport. It's like a legendary moment
Yeah.
in racing history.
but like he traveled.
And it's like
an extra step.
he like traveled.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he took like an extra step, and like you go to the official and you're like, actually, if you look at the tape,
Yeah.
he traveled. I think this
Like,
happens with
technically, you're right, but also off.
yeah,
Just
this
like-
happens in F1 all the time,
Yeah.
and that's what's going to keep it from becoming a sport as big as like basketball, where it's like you're undoing the sport.
Yeah.
You're making it lame.
You know, it was super annoying. I think 2 years ago or maybe it was last year, was when Red Bull started complaining about cars coming out of the pits too quick. And it's like, you set the world record for fastest pit. Like what now because Mercedes is catching up,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you're complaining about it.
I think if you're an F1 racing team and you say anything is too quick, then you're a nerd.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's why like Christian Horner is same energy as Prost, but it's more like Slytherin than him.
Yeah.
I mean, Max is 100% Slytherin, right?
yeah. Lewis is Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Rising.
Patronus is
His Patronus
Peregrine
is
Falcon.
His Patronus is a Patronus.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, of course, there's a lot of parallels between this story and modern F1, which we will get into the nitty gritty of on our other podcast, Donut Racing Show. We're going to be starting up here in February, so make sure you're subscribed.
I might guest on it,
Yeah.
but I don't
I'm
know. I
definitely
didn't
going to
ask.
subscribe.
That might not happen.
I'm just saying shit.
I'm just saying shit. Despite Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna finally being on different teams, the 1990 season played out eerily similar to the year before. Prost won 5 GPs aboard the beautiful Ferrari F1-90, but found himself chasing an all too familiar face as the season wound down. Heading into the second-to-last race of the season, again at Suzuka, Senna led Alain by a handful of points, and he knew that if Alain didn't finish that day, the title was his. It's like the opposite of last year.
Yeah.
Senna won the pole, and Alain qualified second. But when the grid was set the following day, Senna complained that Alain's side of the track had less residue on it than his. which would give the Frenchman a slight advantage at the start.
This is also historic. I remember the interview with Senna being like, yeah, it was like damp on that side, and there was like
damp on the side. It was like covered in jelly.
Jelly.
It was like jelly and peanut butter all over
they
there.
had just raked jelly from the grass onto.
Yeah. They had a chicken wing contest there the night before. It was covered in like ranch and blue cheese and sauce. Joey Chestnut was there the night before, just pounding hot dogs.
What isn't mentioned here is that Alain ran to his little steward and was like, we should switch, like put the evens on the other side and the odds on the other side. He got them to switch which side they started on.
That is so lame.
Yeah, how'd they budge for that? Why? Like, why would they do that for him?
There's a reason he was able to do it, and it was like kind of sound, but also like kind of slimy.
This is it is definitely wiener behavior. I will concede.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. The Prost apologist over here.
No, I'm just saying though, you got to know the rule book. You got to play the rule. Like if to extract the best results, you got to know these technicalities. Like it is wiener behavior for sure, but he's the one doing it.
This is why we don't agree on Max. You love Max. I get it.
I was a big Max fan before he won his first championship.
It's like, at what cost though, Nolan?
I know.
Because you know what I care about?
What?
Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can win all you want, but if no one likes you, what's the point?
That's a good point. But he still won.
Yeah, who cares? So but here's the thing. No one cares. No one likes him.
He won though.
But who cares? No one likes him. I want to be liked. I want to be loved.
Then you're not going to win.
Yeah, right.
He's already winning.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm already winning.
All right. Why is this I'm taking this personally. I'm just saying, like, in this following sentence here, you see that Senna also complains about this. Like, they all do this. It's just like, who's better at snaking the rule book is my point.
I think the difference is they all do it. Everyone does it. Everyone pays attention to the rules. Everyone advocates for the best advantage. If that's what you're known for, if that's what you're remembered for, you have to do it so much and in such a greasy way. Like if Senna does, sure, yeah, I'm sure Senna advocated for his best position quite a bit, but that's not what he's known for. Yeah. So if like you want to be known as like a slimy, like conniving guy, then like be known as a slimy, conniving guy. But like I would not want that.
But also think about, he's leveraging his privilege a ton too. Like as a French driver who grew up in France where the FIA is based, he's definitely pulling the privilege card. Like Prost and Bernie were like buds, and he used that to like over.
Yeah, and Senna. We covered Bernie Ecclestone in an episode recently, and I wouldn't want to be buds with that guy.
No.
I think I would work for him in spite of my feelings for him, rather than being like using it to my advantage. You know what I mean? He's kind of a crumb bag.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he just had a kid. He's like 99 years old.
Yeah.
That sounds like something Dizzy Rascal would say.
Yeah. But I do think like as a public figure like this, especially in sports where you're lifted to this God status because you're able to achieve things that people literally cannot achieve. You look at an actor and you're like, I could probably do that.
Oh, totally.
But like there is no way I could drive like Lewis Hamilton drives or like Senna drives, or like LeBron plays basketball or like whoever throws a football. And I do believe that if you're in that position, if you're, through your hard work, but also through like a lot of luck and chance, then like you do have a responsibility to be a hero. And this whole like I'm not like a role model thing, it's like, yes, you are. You are an example. You are a superhuman. You're an example to all other humans. So you have the responsibility not to be a little douchebag.
A little wiener.
Yeah, don't be a wiener.
Yeah.
Well
You're
said.
a hero. It's all we got. It's all we got. So Senna won pole. Despite that, Alain's side of the track had less residue, which would give him a slight advantage at the start. But unfortunately for Senna, race officials didn't budge because he wasn't French, like Joe said. And as he predicted, Alain surged off the line with an immediate shot at overtaking Ayrton at the first corner. Now, who knows what would have happened if Alain hadn't jumped out of the gates like that? Maybe the race, maybe the season would have ended differently. But since he did, and since the tattletale controversy from the year before, was all too fresh in Senna's mind, the Brazilian intentionally crashed his McLaren into Alain and ended the day for both of them. Less than 10 seconds into the race, and the 1990 F1 championship was decided. Is it agreed that he intentionally did it?
So they looked at the telemetry. This is part of the documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Alain got out of his car furious, ran immediately over to either the stewards or the Senna's team, and they looked at the telemetry, never let off the gas.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Full throttle the entire time going into a turn.
Yeah.
Knowing that he's just going to take out.
See, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
You don't tattle. You smash it. Launchpad McQuack
Yeah, don't go to the cops. Handle it yourself.
Don't call the cops. Smash the dude. All right. Naturally, Alain was pissed off. The World Championship is for sports, not war, ranted the professor. What he did today was disgusting. I was flat out in that corner, and he hit me hard enough to break off my rear wing. My beautiful, beautiful rear wing. My mother gave me that wing for my birthday. I can't believe he would risk his own safety. I've said it before. He tries to represent himself to the world as a man he is not. He has no value. Predictably, Senna didn't feel much sympathy for Alain. I didn't give a damn what Prost says, declared the victorious Ayrton. It is a demonstration of who the champion is. I won here last year, and it was very, very bad to take it away from me. It is very rewarding to do this. When I walked back from the corner to the pits, I left behind all the weight and stress from 19. He's like, hell yeah, dude, that felt good.
Dude, you watch this footage back, and it's it's pretty violent.
They're going.
It's gnarly.
200 miles per hour.
And that's like to have that sentiment where it's like, felt good.
Yeah.
Like, that's
that guy, dude.
Hell
yeah, it felt good.
see
That's insane, man.
When they spin off into the dirt, Alain gets out and he's just like, you can tell from
Yeah,
his
he's
body language,
pissed. He's
he's
like,
so
God.
pissed.
Yeah.
Senna just calmly gets out, doesn't even look at Alain. He's
Yeah.
just like,
Awesome.
oh, okay.
Dude, not only does he say he didn't feel bad, he's like, I feel better.
Yeah.
I actually feel. You
know
ever
what?
get like a massage after a while? I haven't had one for a while.
I've felt pretty bad since that last race when he wrecked me. But now I feel better. It's been like a whole year, and I wrecked him, and that's that.
It is pretty crazy that it came down to the exact same situation at the exact same track.
That is so sick. Dude, Senna. Hell yeah. I'm going to get a Senna tattoo.
Do it.
Cool. Send ideas for my Senna tattoo to passgas@donutmedia.com. I legit want one. Nothing too big. Single line, probably. I don't
What
like...
if it's the profile of his head, but it's made up of slivers of all the colors of the teams he was on?
Black ink only, please.
Big thank you to our sponsor this week, Valvoline Motor Oil. Did you know that Valvoline provides 24 times stronger protection against water contamination than the industry-leading synthetic brand? That's right. But you might be asking yourself, Nolan, how does water get in my engine in the first place? I don't fill it with water, and as far as I know, it's pretty watertight. Well, when gasoline burns, it produces water or condensation as a byproduct of combustion. Most gasoline contains up to 15% ethanol as well, which further increases the amount of water produced. Newer engine technologies like stop, start, and shorter trips can make it even harder for your engine to heat up enough to burn that water vapor off. All Valvoline oils exceed industry standards to provide the ultimate protection for every engine on the road from little things like water contamination. Valvoline also sponsors Donut Media Racing FD driver Adam Knapik, Shop Daddy Adam. If you've seen High Low, you know who Adam is. You might have seen his car. I've got Valvoline in my car, and you should too. Go get Valvoline for your car today. Thank you very much, Valvoline.
Regardless of the vicious personal insults, the season was over, and Alain would have to wait until the next year to exact revenge. But willpower alone doesn't win races. A quality car is very important too. And in 1991, the Ferrari 642 and 643 were bad news. For the first time in 10 years, Alain failed to win a Grand Prix, while Senna secured his third and final world championship with McLaren. Now, as you might imagine, Alain was in a pretty rotten mood during most of 1991, and most of his life. Before the final GP of the season, he publicly blamed Ferrari, talking trash about the team for the miserable year, calling the Scuderia-made model a truck, and accused ownership of favoring his teammate Jean Alesi. Never an organization to tolerate insubordination, Ferrari fired Alain before the final GP of the season.
Yeah, that's the one team that you
don't
can't talk about the cars.
Dude, if you call a Ferrari a truck, Ferrari will you up. They hate trucks.
What are they going to do when people start talking about the Ferrari SUV?
It's not an SUV.
The Ferrari truck?
It's a crossover, huh?
No, they made up a word. It's a PUV or something.
Oh.
It's like a POOV.
The poof truck.
Yeah. It's not a
I
sport.
got my lamb truck.
Which is interesting that they took the word sport out of it and kept utility. Maybe, yeah. It's an SPV. It's an STD.
Really?
It's an STD, STI.
It's a high performance vehicle.
Performance utility vehicle?
It's an HPV.
Oh.
Alain suddenly found himself as a driver without a car again, and the Ferrari fiasco delivered another blow to his already damaged reputation. Little did the professor know that before he would have the chance to race again, he'd have to spend a year in F1 purgatory.
This guy, there's a lot of parallels between him and Fernando Alonso. Alonso also likes to, he has a history of talking bad about his team, talking about his cars. Obviously, one of the most talented drivers on the grid still, but a hard guy to work with.
I'd much rather hang out with Alonso than Prost.
The Spanish man.
Alonso
versus the
seems
French
like
man.
he'd be like, let's take a day off. Let's eat some jamon iberico.
Let's go eat. Hey, let's go eat some like snails and stuff out of tins and drink a bunch of orange wine, huh?
Yeah.
I've heard that Fernando Alonso doesn't drive himself on public roads because he doesn't want to pick up any bad driving habits.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I don't drive. I do. Yeah, I do.
I do.
I actually hate riding in cars with people.
Yeah.
Dude, dude, I can just tell if I can imagine it. Like you guys are all like, have you guys seen James? And Alonso's team's like, hey, where's Fernando? And it's just like cut to us on a yacht.
Yeah.
Just like
Eating some of that dried out ham.
eating big, expensive ham,
aged
cutting it with a katana,
Yeah.
shooting arrows that we lit on fire straight into the ocean.
And then he's like, oh, I heard this really funny song. I'm going to play it for you. And it's like, and it's like, you haven't heard the hamster song,
He's
Alonso?
like, no, man, I've been freaking driving for so long. Be like, dude, Alonso, have you ever heard of Lonely Island? Like, no.
Oh, you're going to love
Dude,
this.
yeah, me and Alonso dream. This is my dream. All right, me and Alonso. He has a wife.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting into DRS territory.
Oh,
Talking a hot goss about F1 drivers. So Alonso hit his partner, my girlfriend, on a yacht.
Yeah.
Wherever it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Just listening to Lonely Island albums.
Yeah. Off of an iHome. Like one of those weird Airbnb like iPod stations.
Yeah.
Why does he have that?
Yeah. Yeah. Because he kitted it out in 2005. And we're just shooting arrows on fire into the ocean.
And then like the scuba diver like floats up.
Oh no. And then the week takes a turn.
Yeah.
We got to get rid of that body because we got too much to lose. Turns into I know what you did last summer.
Short on friends and out of options, Alain Prost took a break from F1 during the 1992 season. Instead, he spent the year as a TV commentator, sharing his racing insight from the announcer's booth. Alain impressed both fans and professionals alike and made it clear that the 37-year-old had more than enough competitive gas left in the tank.
It's not old.
I didn't say it was. Invigorated by the year away from his beloved sport, Alain joined Williams Renault for the 1993 season. And you know what? He drove impeccably, guys. Taking the pole in all but 3 Grand Prix, claiming 7 first-place finishes, the last of which set the F1 record again for most career wins at 51. He was a world champion for the 4th time, and to make it even sweeter, Senna was runner-up.
Okay, so this guy is the winningest driver in F1 history, right?
Well, it was.
Was. Michael Jordan was a Everyone agrees.
Yeah.
But everyone still likes him because he was the right kind of
Because he had a good PR person too that was like, don't
sure, but
say
he's
that."
like you can be an asshole and competitive and like flawed, but you can't be a little wiener.
Yeah.
You can't be like a little.
You got to go on those Hanes
baby
commercials and tell
wiener.
that guy he's got bacon neck.
Listen, you can gamble so much that your
Why did you
dad
look at
gets
me?
murdered. But you don't be a little dork. Don't be a rat. Nobody likes a rat.
Yeah.
Don't be a tattletale.
Don't be a Peter Pettigrew.
Don't be a Peter Pettigrew. If I can leave our young fans with one thing, and one thing only, one lesson from Big Bro, don't be a fucking rat.
Speaking of Senna, don't think for a second that Alain wasn't still sore at the Brazilian during his comeback. In fact, Alain insisted that Williams include a Senna will never be your teammate clause in his contract before the 93 campaign. However, even with the championship win, Williams couldn't promise him the same in 94. Senna had fallen out with McLaren and was too good for Williams to pass up.
Oh, God.
But the idea of teaming up with Ayrton again was too much for Alain to bear. Quote,
The sport has given me a lot, but I decided the game wasn't worth it anymore. I finally decided to close the door.
he told reporters in June of 94 and effectively retired from Formula One racing. You guys mentioned earlier, like, you got to have another thing. Like,
Yeah.
before we started talking, you got to have another thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got to be jet skiing. Got to be wearing clothes.
Whatever your
Like,
thing is.
this quote right here.
I don't remember this. What? Got to be jet skiing.
Yeah,
You got to be wearing clothes.
Wait, why are you jet skiing?
These are
You're not supposed to wear
These are
jet-
Nolan's rules.
You got to
for
have,
life.
like, other things besides racing. And I think this quote right here really sums up, like, yeah, racing, like every F1 racer, like,
And you know what's
the
the
sport
sign?
is their life,
Yeah.
but, like, this is, like, the next level where it really is.
You know what
his
really
entire
tells
life.
you that he didn't have anything else going on in life is the fact that you still see him in the paddock.
Yeah,
That's his life.
it is.
Yeah, that's
totally.
like hanging out in your high school parking lot.
But it was a shame that he didn't. I mean, Frank Williams screwed him over, definitely. This is a fun part of the documentary where he was like, yeah, I'm never going to hire Senna as long as you're here. And literally the next year he was like, can we bring him in?
I kind of got to hire him.
Here's
Yeah.
the deal, mate. I didn't think we could get him.
Yeah.
But turns out we can, and he's really good at driving.
But I want to like hear the fan fiction of if Alain didn't retire that year, because that was such a dominant car. That was the like active aero.
They probably both would have died in a crash or something.
That's true.
Alain Prost was 39 years old and ready to start the next chapter of his life. Almost. He actually tested for McLaren prior to the 1994 season, but after being unimpressed with their new Ford engine, declined the opportunity. Actually, no thank you. Thanks, but no thanks.
Look, I love the Taurus. It's one of my favorite cars.
Listen, the Taurus is a phenomenal.
But
Alain was also contacted by a far more surprising collaborator from his past, Ayrton Senna. Soon after Alain retired, Senna called him regularly and asked him to return to racing. But even the encouragement of his fiercest rival couldn't persuade the Frenchman. However, he was glad to speak with Ayrton and begin to heal their fractured relationship. We talk about this a lot on the show whenever we talk about a rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like having a rival makes a great athlete so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have someone who's close to, if not equal to your talent level,
Mm-hmm.
you're forced to push yourself into places that you would have never previously gone before. If you're just dominating, then maybe, I mean, if you can win at 90%, you're going to win at 90%. But if you have to win at 100, then you're going to hit 100. And I actually watched like a clip of Kobe talking about Michael Jordan
Mm-hmm.
and when they played against each other in the All-Star game. And like at the beginning, like Jordan's like talking all this trash because like everyone's already saying like Kobe's the next Jordan, Kobe's the next Jordan. And he's like, oh man, I'm gonna make him earn it. I'm gonna make it earn it. But like apparently Jordan became such a mentor to Kobe to the point where Kobe was like, if it weren't for him, then like I wouldn't be nearly as good as I am now.
Yeah.
It's sort of like how Nolan and I are so competitive, but without his guidance,
true.
I would be nothing.
Yeah.
Nolan's like, talk to the camera. I'm like, what? Alain came back as an F1 commentator for the 1994 season, which gave him and Ayrton even more opportunities to make things right. This included the third GP of the season at Imola, where Senna sent a radio message from his car to the press box during a practice lap the day before the race. A special hello to my friend, Alain. We all miss you. Where are you? Ha-ha. It would be one of the last times Alain would hear Senna's voice. The next day, Ayrton Senna crashed his Benetton Williams car into an unprotected concrete barrier at 130 miles per hour and died on impact. Nearly 3 decades after the devastating crash, Alain, who helped carry Ayrton's coffin at the funeral, still has trouble speaking about Senna. In 2018, he said, "It's very difficult for me to talk about Ayrton. He was so different, so completely different from any other racing driver, any other person I've ever known. I'm sorry that his door was closed too early." Alain spent the next year working for his old foe Renault, then moved on to become a consultant for McLaren in 1996, while also organizing his goal of owning an F1 team. Prost Grand Prix made their debut in the 1998 season, but the new team failed to provide a consistent car for each of its 3 years of competition, and in 2002 went into liquidation. Alain spent the next several years competing in bicycle races as well as the Andro Ice Racing Series, which he won with Toyota in 2007 and 2008, and then with Dacia in 2012. 2012 was also the year Alain began a decade-long partnership with Renault F1, which was renamed Alpine in 2021. However, in January of this year, Alpine and Alain had a falling out.
Alpine is the worst car company.
Alpine, why you do even say it like that? It's supposed to be Alpine.
I cannot fit in there 110. It is too big.
I want to drive.
He's a
that
tiny
thing.
guy.
The professor took the rest of the year to consider his next move. And it's exciting to think what that might be, considering Alain's never-ending love for the sport of motor racing. Alain Prost belongs on the Mount Rushmore of Formula One world champions. Among the pantheon of racing greats, only Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher, and Juan Manuel Fangio have won more world championships than Alain Prost. Hamilton, Schumacher, and Sebastian Vettel are the only drivers who have claimed more checkered flags than Prost's 51. Alain Prost is unapologetic, calculated, and brilliant. And while his fiery personality continues to earn him detractors, Alain Prost's legacy as a Formula One racing great is set in stone, no matter how big of a wiener he is.
I think that's kind of the takeaway there. My argument of playing the rule book, I think definitely applies. I think it's true. I think it, not just in racing, but, like the fact that there are so many unlikable billionaires in this world kind of proves it. Like, they are ruthless and do everything to gain a foot over anybody. But at the end of the day,
anyone's neck.
At the end of the day, nobody thinks Elon Musk is funny. So I think
Nice
that's
takeaway.
kind of the takeaway there.
I don't
And
know.
obviously,
I
James,
think
you are winning. I'm
I
sorry
think
for
you
saying
can
that.
win and not be a huge jerk.
Yeah.
Look at LeBron James. LeBron James is a great guy,
Mm-hmm.
and
But
he
I will
wins
say-
a lot.
He does, like, it somewhat because of his size, because it's, he's less affected by fouls, so it doesn't telegraph as easily to the refs. But he does do flops from time to time, and
Sure, but he's not a jerk.
no. And he's always,
he gets people traded, and he, I think that's
Yeah.
is a good example. Yeah, you play the rule book, you
Mhm.
know how to play the game,
But if
you
that's
take
all
advantage
you do,
of situations.
Yeah.
But I do believe that you can be seen as a good person
And LeBron-
act like a good person and win.
yeah, I don't
LeBron
think
will apologize when he's in the wrong, whereas Elaine at no
Doesn't
point
care.
at-
doesn't even play basketball.
No, at
He's
no
not even
point.
good at basketball.
I'm trying to make a point. At no point in this documentary was he ever like, yeah, maybe I was a bit too harsh on Senna,
Mhm.
or like, yeah, I guess it looks like I didn't, aim away from his car or something. He always thought he was in the right, which is something
Yeah.
that
That's not a good quality to have.
narcissists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a baby.
Yeah. I don't think this episode is going to shift anyone's
No,
opinion of this
I was
man.
hoping it would shift mine, but it didn't.
Yeah.
And he's still alive, so I can talk all the trash I want.
So there you go, Alain Prost.
Alain Prost.
The episode's not over yet, though, because we got listener mail. Here we go. Hello, gentlemen. I'm not an automotive enthusiast, but your podcast is now my favorite. I'm a mom to 2 little girls who are also fans of yours through your YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Not long ago, I heard them playing, and they were saying, this is the D-list.
That's cute.
Hey.
Hanging out with you guys while I bake, cook, clean, and walk the dog is also fun. Lots of laughs. Your RC car video is my favorite one. My husband now listens, and we talk about all the funny things you guys say. Thank you for this podcast. Love your humor. Toot, toot. Thank you, Maria Meyer. Thank you very much.
Toot, toot,
And
gang.
Shouts to Maria for hitting all the hosts.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Maria.
Thanks, Maria. And tell your girls toot toot. And tell your husband to get out.
All right. If you'd like to...
If this is a call for help, Maria.
Oh, my God, no. If you'd like to email the show, hit us up at passgas@donutmedia.com. We might read your email on air. Follow the boys on all social media at James Pumphrey, at Joji Weber, and me, Nolan J. Sykes.
If you guys don't know, we have a YouTube channel, Donut Media. We also make clothes for people who like cars. Go to donutmedia.com, pick yourself up some. It's some of my favorite stuff that we do. Also, check out our other podcast starting up again in February. Covers the Formula One season in extreme detail.
Real time.
It is
baby.
the cheap beer answer to the champagne lifestyle of F1.
Whoa.
You don't have to be a fan of the sport to listen to it. It's super funny, super entertaining. Nolan is a co-host along with
Alanis King and Elizabeth Blackstock. It's called Donut Racing Show. Go subscribe before the new season starts. That show is also produced by our producers, Christina Felsky and Gavin Kinzel. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you next time.
You'll hear us next time.
Yes, you'll hear us.
Hear us on the flip side.
Later.
Hear us on the flip side.